Greetings and salutations. I'm Christopher Platt, reporting for Your Black World News with an article from the Atlanta Black Star. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and visit theblackbusinessschool.com to learn about financial literacy and how you can grow your business today. Yielding to mounting pressure and growing disruption, President Donald Trump and congressional leaders on Friday reached a short-term deal to reopen the government for 3 weeks while negotiations continue over the president's demand for money to build his long-promised wall at the U.S.-Mexico border. Trump announced the agreement to break the 35-day impasse as intensifying delays at the nation's airports and widespread disruptions brought new urgency to efforts to resolve the standoff. I'm very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government, he said from the Rose Garden. After saying for weeks that he would not reopen the government without border wall money, Trump said he would soon sign a bill to reopen the government through February 15th without additional money for his signature campaign promise. He said that a bipartisan committee of lawmakers would be formed to consider border spending before the new deadline. They're willing to put partisanship aside, I think, and put the security of the American people first, Trump said. He asserted that barriers or walls will be an important part of the solution. But he hinted that he was still considering taking unilateral action if efforts to come up with money for his wall fail. I have a very powerful alternative, but I didn't want to use it at this time, he said. Overnight and into Friday, at least 5 Republican senators had been calling Trump, urging him to reopen the government and have the Senate consider his request for border wall money through regular legislation, according to a person familiar with the situation who was not authorized to discuss the private talks publicly. The breakthrough came as LaGuardia Airport in New York and Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey both experienced at least 90-minute delays in takeoffs Friday due to the shutdown. And the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, was experiencing long security wait times, a warning sign the week before it expects 150,000 out-of-towners for the Super Bowl. Trump and the Democrats in Congress had remained at odds over his demand that any compromise include money for his coveted border wall. The standoff became so severe that as Senate opened with prayer, Chaplain Barry Black called on high powers in the hour of national turmoil to help senators do what is right. Senators were talking with increased urgency after Thursday's defeat of competing proposals from Trump and the Democrats. The bipartisan talks provided a glimmer of hope that some agreement could be reached to halt the longest ever closure of federal agencies, at least temporarily. There are discussions on the Senate side, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told reporters Friday morning as she entered the Capitol. We're in touch with them. Asked about Trump's demands for border security measures as part of a bill temporarily reopening the government, Pelosi said, quote, "one step at a time," end quote. Pelosi was referring to a meeting Thursday between Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to explore next steps for solving the stalemate. Pressure has been building among both parties to reopen agencies immediately and pay hundreds of thousands of beleaguered federal workers while bargainers hunt for a deal. Monday is the start of the federal tax filing season, but fewer than half of the furloughed IRS employees were called during the shutdown to handle tax returns and send out refunds reported for work as of Tuesday, according to congressional and government aides. The employees have been told to work without pay. At the White House Thursday, Trump told reporters he'd support a reasonable agreement to reopen the government. He suggested he'd also want a prorated down payment for his long-sought border wall with Mexico, but didn't describe the term. He said he has other alternatives for getting wall money, an apparent reference to his disputed claim that he could declare a national emergency and fund the wall's construction using programs in the federal budget. Contributing to the pressure on lawmakers to find a solution was the harsh reality confronting 800,000 federal workers who on Friday faced a second 2-week payday with no paycheck. In an embarrassment to Trump, a Democratic proposal to end the shutdown got 2 more votes in the Senate on Thursday than a GOP plan, even though Republicans control the chamber 53-47. 6 Republicans backed the Democratic plan, including Senator Mitt Romney, who's clashed periodically with the president. The Senate first rejected a Republican plan reopening the government through September and giving Trump the $5.7 billion he's demanded for building segments of that wall, a project that he long promised Mexico would finance. The 50-47 vote for the measure fell 10 shy of the 60 votes needed to succeed. Minutes later, senators voted 52-44 for a Democratic alternative that sought to open padlocked agencies through February 8th with no wall money. That was 8 votes short. It was aimed at giving bargainers time to seek an accord while getting paychecks to government workers who are either working without pay or being forced to stay home. Thursday's vote came after Vice President Mike Pence launched privately with GOP senators who told him they were itching for the standoff to end, participants said. Senator Roy Blunt said their message to Pence was, quote, "find a way forward," end quote. Throughout, the two sides issued mutually exclusive demands that have blocked negotiations from even starting. Trump has refused to reopen the government until Congress gives him the wall money, and congressional Democrats have rejected bargaining until he reopens the government. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to share this video. Let us know what you think. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Your Black World YouTube channel and visit theblackbusinessschool.com today. I'm Christopher Platt reporting. Until next time, shalom.